Perfect. Perfect.
Welcome YouTubers and subscribers of the CMAC25 YouTube channel. Welcome to today's solo episode of Chevy's podcast show. I hope you all had an amazing week as we all head into the upcoming weekend. So I hope you all are able to get plenty of rest and relax and spend time with all your loved ones. Today's episode around these 4 topics would go on with what 2K needs to do moving forward as it's set to launch NBA 2K25, what NBA Live needs to do to reclaim the throne against 2K, my thoughts on the future of microtransactions in video games, my thoughts from this year's NBA Finals and playoffs, plus my thoughts on the WNBA opinions as far as the Caitlin Clark battle of Rookie of the Year versus Angel Reese, and also who I think will win MVP and win the WNBA Finals championship. So with today's topic, first topic, we already know NBA 2K25 drops this, I believe it's September 6th, I believe, so that's like next Friday or Thursday, probably for the people earlier, whoever pre-ordered the game. But after looking at the trailer, gameplay, graphics, 2K, they're always spot on with those type of things, face scans and everything. From what I've seen that looks different is, I believe, is the new rhythm shooting feature they added to the game. They're still going to have the button feature where, traditional, shoot with the button, the shoot meter comes up or whatever. And then I'm guessing what rhythm shooting is just a whole new feature to the game that, from what I've heard, makes it easier to shoot and everything. And also, I think today when I was on Twitter, I seen that they're bringing back some NBA 2K25 My Park parks from back in the day, something they switching up. And I think they're also making the city smaller, so it's pretty much almost looking to like where it looks like the neighborhood, which I think was introduced in NBA 2K17 or 2K18. But with that being said, what I was going to say, what they pretty much is the community. I know they grasp off that, the community, to make a successful game. And obviously, when you hear too much from the 2K community, and then 2K listens to their feedback, things don't go with what fans expect. But from what I've seen, 2K, they are going back to the roots with the My Park. I was hoping that there wouldn't be a city in the game, but it's it's 2K, it's their game. So hopefully there's less movement, too much of a big city to run around. I mean, everybody knows how 2K is with the servers. The bigger the map the game is, things don't go too well. But back to topic, what my thoughts are as far as the game. I mean, my whole thing is I don't play My Player as much. I think the last My Player game that I enjoyed, that I spent hours and hours of playing, coming home from work every day, was 2K16. I know that's years back in the past, but it was just a fun game. Coming home, grinding with the homies, playing pickup games in the park. We played the rec, even though we got smacked a couple of times, but it was still fun, man. That's what I enjoyed most, was back in the a park, come in, load in the game, be with the guys, the homies, whatever. We just play hours, pickup games. And then for if you were in a park you didn't want to be in anymore, you got a homie that his player was in a whole nother park, you guys would get invited, take the subway or whatever, go to their park in their area, which was kind of fun. So for me, for 2K, it's that, and also gameplay. It's always been defense and the C computer, all that stuff in the game. It's just, I just want a smooth game, and It's not too much to ask. I don't know how it is to make video games, but I know it can be challenging despite the genre, not just with sports games. But with 2K, I would wish that they would pick up from live is add All-Star Weekend into the game. NBA Live was spot on with that in like 2005 hitting on. I believe in 2K, was it 2K8 or 9? But it could have been 2K8 where they had like a blacktop, the dunk contest, stuff like that, 3-point shootout, like little stuff like that matters when it comes into with any video game. Like the little stuff can make a game look good. And I feel like in order to play those game modes, you have to do like what My Career, do a season mode. We still have like the All-Star, East versus West. You can do that, but like add that to the game 2K. Add a little All-Star Weekend. Pick that up, or if NBA Live decides to come back into the game competition with 2K, I hope NBA Live brings that back, All-Star Weekend. It was just one of those little things, to pass the controller around if you had like, family members, cousins, friends coming over playing NBA Live. Hey man, do a 3-point shootout, dunk contest, skills challenge, rookie versus sophomore game, all that stuff. It was fun, And speaking of NBA Live, as we get ready to move in down to the next topic, is what does NBA Live needs to do to reclaim the throne versus 2K? We know NBA Live hasn't made a game since was it NBA Live 19, I believe. My apologies, but they listened to the NBA Live community. The service for that game is still, I believe, is on. I catch people playing on Twitch, people making YouTube videos and everything. I know they have a mobile game. Was it NBA Live Mobile? That's been going on, I think, since 2016. It might be even later than that, but that is still going on. My thoughts were they were probably, going to probably use maybe income or from that working towards the next NBA Live game. And I believe it was NBA Live 19 or the following year after that, which was 2020, that they made a post on Instagram saying that they were going to they're in the works of another NBA Live game, that they're making progress, stuff like that. And I'm okay with that. The longer we wait, they're taking their time on making another NBA Live game, it'll be worth the wait. For me, as a gamer and collector, retro game, current games, I go back and play the older NBA Live games for like, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, even current, next gen. I still play NBA Live 19, 18 back to back. It's the presentation. It was just fun, and that's just how NBA Live is. For me as a kid, I like every NBA Live game I would get. I would always, create a player, create my brothers, would be on the team, and we'll just play a whole season out and everything. Go all the way to the championship. Then of course play the little accolades, All-Star Weekend and everything like that. It was just fun. It was a smooth game. And after watching like so many documentaries of how NBA Live fell off throughout the years till 2K, took over the throne in basketball game, was that, they wanted, NBA Live just wanted a fresh game, something new. So it didn't feel like you were playing the same game every year. And I can understand that, especially, with genuinely any video game. And, I feel with that type of pressure, it can, it definitely can be exhausting. And, for NBA Live and 2K, for them to be making basketball games for all these years, we just got to do nothing but just appreciate and give them respect for everything that, they've done throughout those years with the basketball games. Like I said, for NBA Live to get back, it's mainly at this point, graphics. Number one has to be on point. Body builds for the players. I don't know, it's just something with NBA Live is like they just love making their players look skinny. From like older ones like on PS2, big man players like Shaq and everybody, they all somewhat looked bigger, but it was just like, I don't know, Live, they just love making their players skinny for some odd reason. hopefully, with the next NBA Live game, if they ever put out whenever they're ready, is just make the builds, take notes from 2K, make the player builds, look good, be on point. Like I said, that with the space scans, ball movement and player movement, I know for years people have always said, going back playing older live games, I was like, oh, they feel like they're like robots. It doesn't feel like smooth or anything like that. That, for the be of the case, it has its moments. It does gameplay, but even with 2K24 compared to Live 19, people have always said that that the game movement compared to 2K is somewhat smoother in certain areas. That Live is better, and then obviously 2K areas where it's better than Live. Animation, that was always a bigger part with the Live games. When they dunk, shooting the ball and everything compared to 2K. 2K they own that department, but when it comes to like making a player, physics with the hair, jersey and everything, I've always felt that Live was like a little bit better. But obviously when it was like the early, don't get me messed up. Mid 2K, like we talking like 360, PS4, that type of stuff. Like it was, 360, PS3. Like the graphics with those were pretty smooth. Like I loved it. I enjoyed the jersey movement and everything. Animations was that. That plays a big part for Live. That's got to change. What was that? Shoes. That looks good. Yeah, my apologies, this computer is still running. But yeah, I just hope that NBA Live comes back, hopefully in the near future, because man, it would be nice to have a live game back in competition with 2K. Just two games to choose from. Trying to, with sales, it would just be fun, like I was in the 360 PS3 days. Also Live, like I said with 2K, bring All-Star Weekend back. Also we got to get some legend teams, retro teams, retro jerseys, in the game. Please, 2K's doing it. Live, you guys got to come back strong with that. Please bring that back in the game. I don't know how it will work. I know they did Live 19. They did have like some retro, some legends in the game for the streets. What they added, it's fun, but that's gonna play a big role. Also, presentation, NBA Live. I know you guys have ESPN. Hopefully that stays in the game. Have a good commentary team for the men's and also the WNBA as well. Got to give them credit where credit's due. The WNBA, if it's evolving, and I feel like they need that same respect as far as the NBA basketball games, the commentary. Hopefully that gets into par with. I believe that's it. I know they have the My Team. I know that plays with the microtransactions. I don't really play My Team like that, especially with 2K. But yeah, for the next topic, my thoughts always on microtransactions. It doesn't have to link with, not just with sports games. I'm talking about like all games in general. I have nothing against microtransactions. My first microtransaction I bought for a game, I believe it was for NBA 2K13. It was All-Star Weekend. It was a DLC where you could like do the dunk contest, and it was like I can't remember, but I have it installed on my 360. But when the Xbox 360 servers went down, obviously I had other DLC games that I purchased, I installed, such as far with like fighting games that dealt with alternate costumes, Call of Duty with maps and stuff. For some reason, that stuff was installed. I was able to access it, but for 2K 13's All-Star Weekend package DLC, it didn't work for some odd reason. So that's my big thing is like if you pay for it and you own it, it's on the hard drive, I should be able to have access to play it online or offline. I understand certain games, such as like Fortnite, Warzone, or any type of game that requires online. You have to have a connection to access the things you pay for. I get that. That's understandable. But for like games that have the feature of offline and online, I feel like if you pay with your hard work earned money, you should be able to own the content that you paid for. That is my only issue with the whole microtransaction for it. That's it. If I pay my hard work earned money for it, I should be able to have access to it. It's mine. Keep it forever. That's all. I know people might have their different opinion on what I have to say with that, but that's just me. Lastly, next one, my thoughts on last year's playoffs. We're talking finals as well for the NBA. My favorite player at the moment is LeBron James. I don't know if you guys, I don't think I've made a post on my community page, not page, but loved. Actually, I think I will, for you guys, my subscribers and new listeners to the channel, to know that who my favorite players are. My favorite player that's left remaining at the moment is LeBron James. My other two is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And the reason for those is, growing up with three brothers, and my dad, he's born and raised from Chicago. Michael Jordan was the guy. And, as for a kid that was born in like the somewhat mid 90s, I was born in 1994. My dad, I had a basketball room full of retro, old school teams such as, the Chicago Bulls. Everybody was playing in the 90s. So long story short, Michael Jordan, I was introduced to him like when Space Jam, we're talking like VHS tapes. And from there, Michael Jordan was the guy. And then later down also that road, I started getting like Michael Jordan tapes, and I was able to finally get to see like what he, how he was playing, how it was in his era. So, being attached to that in the early 2000s, I was able to see somewhat some of my Jordan's games, and then being able to see introduced to Kobe Bryant. And then Kobe Bryant, throughout the years, was just like, that was my guy. And then there's LeBron James. He comes in the picture. So, those two are my favorite back to back. And then, I did notice that, Kobe, how he played and everything, that it was somewhat similar to Michael Jordan. So then in my eyes, Kobe Bryant was my Michael Jordan of the 2000s era. And then, of course, LeBron coming in 03, seeing him play, those, I was, attached to those two as my top guys. And, but, catching back on to top it, my team, my favorite player is LeBron at the moment. As far as my other team, even though, he doesn't play with them anymore, is the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have Donovan Mitchell over there, Darius Garland, the Afro and them over there doing their thing in the East. They made the playoffs. Obviously, they didn't make it to the finals, but neither did the Lakers. So from what I've seen throughout the year, it was a good season. Obviously with the Lakers, they didn't have, the coaching staff and everything. The players didn't, show up, and it just wasn't a good year for them. They didn't make the playoffs. Well, actually, they did make the playoffs. I'm sorry. My apologies. They did make the playoffs. Went against the defending champs, Denver Nuggets. Didn't get swept, but we did get a game. So far as the playoffs went, I was entertained. I didn't notice because, I didn't watch basketball the previous year except for the playoffs and the finals. I noticed that, press conferences, they were letting players cuss, and, hearing all that, it just, entertained me more, bringing hype, watching each game. So this year's previous year's playoffs, it was good. Like I said, I was entertained by everything. Ant-Man, how he got far, defeated the Nuggets, the Timberwolves and everything. I was hoping that they would have went to the finals, played the Celtics. Once again, everybody was talking about how the Celtics had the most easiest, smoothest route getting to the finals in the history, probably compared to any other team. And they played the Dallas Mavericks, who I felt that that should have been like a 7-game series. I felt like, Kyrie, with his experience, he would have just like, just had a breakthrough and just went crazy. But that wasn't, you know, what we all expected. Luka was fresh in the finals. This is his experience. So hopefully the experience that Dallas Mavericks team had will, make them a better team coming into this year's upcoming season. I had nothing against the Celtics. I had nothing but congratulations. At the same time, if the Warriors would have got back in the finals and went against the Celtics, man, I just know it would have been nothing but business for the Celtics. And if they would have pulled it off, it would have been like everybody would have probably called it a revenge finals for the Boston Celtics. But shout out to Jaylen Brown for winning Finals MVP. He was the guy. He showed up. Tatum did too. The whole team did. Nothing but congratulations to them. Now moving forward to this up year's season, my opinion, who will go to the finals? From starting with the East, I think for the getting to the conference finals will probably be the Bucks and Celtics. My opinion, I would like to see Giannis, Lillard, and them, pull through and get to the finals. I mean, Lillard first year with them was, I can tell it was a struggle to adjust to. I just, in my opinion, I just feel like they're the top team along, who they're going to battle through. Obviously, the Sixers, Heat, and them to get to. And no, I can't count out the Knicks because they surprised me too, how well they play in the playoffs. So, but that's just my opinion. I feel like it'll be come between in the East, Bucks and Celtics. If the Celtics pull through, get to the finals, hey, it is what it is. For the West is stacked. Oh my goodness gracious. I know the Lakers got a new coach. Lakers roster is still the same. We didn't really sign anybody. I mean, we got Bronny, but he's a development in the rise. I don't suspect anything big from him this year, except that the staff and everybody just makes him comfortable and get him in good development. And hopefully, the world, including myself, will be able to get a moment where we get to see LeBron and Bronny play on the court at the same time, make history. Hopefully, get an alley-oop, Bronny to James in the actual game, other than in the video game. But as far as the West go, we got a lot of healthy players coming back. Zion, for what I've seen, that he's in good shape. Hopefully, he plays a good season, don't get injured. For the West, man, it's tough compared to the East. Sheesh. Nuggets, they're not looking. I mean, they're looking decent. They got rid of a few players. Timberwolves in the conference finals. That's one team. Other team, if not the Lakers, hopefully the Suns. I know people are probably saying, oh, well, what about Wemby and the Spurs, Chris Paul? Man, it's like I said, it's my opinion. If they they're gonna be something to watch, because I mean, you got Chris Paul, he's gonna be doing the pick and roll with him, Wemby. That's gonna be something. That he's a vet, so I'm gonna keep it at those two. Actually, no, I take that back, because I forgot about OKC. Man, y'all, the West is stacked. The West is stacked. I'm going to go with the Timberwolves and the Thunder. I'll put it like that. So, I got Bucks and Celtics, Timberwolves, and the Thunder. Those are my 4 teams who I think that will battle it out heading into the finals of next year. And then whoever, my opinion, who will probably win it all, it'll probably be the Bucks or Thunder or Timberwolves. But we'll see. Like I said, it's still too early to call. It's just my personal opinion. My team, who I'm rooting for, come out the East, is the Cavaliers. We did sign Donovan Mitchell, Garland, and them to extension. Then on the West, LeBron, he's signed a 2-year deal. We're gonna see what happens with that Laker team. Hopefully, everything just, they can win some games, more games than they did last year. And, with the new coach, JJ Redick. So I think it'll be fun to watch the Lakers play this year. Far as MVP goes for the NBA season, I don't have a pick at the moment. I mean, so we'll move forward with the WNBA. We have a lot of conspiracy talk going on with the Caitlin Clark battle for the Rookie of the Year against Angel Reese. I already told everybody, co-workers at my job, that with the finals that was going on last year, it was just, I wasn't entertained at all. It was just unwatchable. So I took a break from watching that to watching the WNBA, because the WNBA, in my opinion, they had a better draft class compared to the previous NBA draft class that happened. I think the only person I was looking forward to that got drafted, that's all I care about, is getting his name called, was Bronny James. And I was like, yep, that's it. So as far as the back to the WNBA topic, both of them are game changers. I'm not going to say it's a black or white thing. I see that a lot on people's opinions on podcasts and social media. Just like, they're both great players. One can score, one can rebound. They're both, just putting the WNBA on the spot. It's even making the product, the WNBA, more entertaining to watch. It's bringing viewers, everything. Like I said, that draft class was great for the WNBA, and it's just gonna keep evolving. So, far as the Rookie of the Year, man, it's like I said, you got one that can score. I already knew that Caitlin Clark's, when she started playing, despite struggling, I just knew if she didn't make the playoffs this year, or that once she got in rhythm, the league was going to be hers. Same thing with Angel Reese. Even though people say, she's not a good scorer, she rebounds, she's a stat patter. I don't care about all that stuff. She's an athlete, professional athlete at the end of the day. Despite whoever makes the playoffs or not, it's tough, man. I feel like it shouldn't matter on that. But from what I've seen today, I think it was Angel Reese that had reclaimed the lead for Rookie of the Year. My personal opinion, who might win it, I'm gonna go with Caitlin Clark. No shade at Angel Reese. Like I said, if one does make the playoffs, the other one wins Rookie of the Year. One makes it or doesn't make it, and the other one does win it. I mean, hey, it is what it is. That's just my personal opinion. Who might win it? They're both, like I said, they both have broken records. It's tough. It is tough. I mean, who knows? I don't think it's possible. Maybe they both might win it. What was it, back in 2007, 08, maybe 08, 09, when Shaq and Kobe won All-Star Game MVP together, Who knows? Maybe that might happen with the WNBA between those two. It's to me at this point, it's just too close to call. They're both great, amazing players. And I know the future is bright for both of them. Both of them are definitely going to be champions. Who knows? Maybe possible teammates in the future. So, with that out the way, for my opinion on that Rookie of the Year, far as that going with the MVP for the WNBA, I got my Asia Wilson. I know that Las Vegas Aces are struggling, throughout, despite, I believe it's the Olympics since they've been back. I think they've been like 2-4. I could be wrong, but yeah, it just shows that she's been busting her butt off for the team the entire season. It looks like she's just, that MVP is like her mindset. I mean, not just her mindset, but also the three-peat. I would like to see that happen. My team is not the Las Vegas Aces. My team is the Minnesota Lynx. Obviously, I'm a Maya Moore fan. She doesn't play anymore. but their team, they're doing well. Hopefully, they get far in the playoffs. Also with the Maya Moore, I felt like they should have broadcasted her game on, if not ESPN, ESPN or a WNBA network, like for her greatness that what she brought to the Minnesota Lynx and to the WNBA. I felt like it should have been a local view game for her. That's another thing I feel like the WNBA spoiled on, or took a hit miss on, was that game should have been broadcast locally on like a some type of network. If not WNBA, ESPN, ESPN2, 3, something for her game. Like I said, I have Asia Wilson winning MVP for this year. As far as winning the WNBA finals, oh man, I'm not going to say it was luck how far the Aces got last year, because they did turn things around. I'm not going to count them out because playoffs, anything can happen. The game is more physical compared to the season. It's win or go home. So my personal opinion, I believe the Aces will possibly three-peat. If not, the Liberty might take it all this year between those two teams. That seems to be the hot rivalry that's going on. It will be between those two teams. I feel like that might do it if my Minnesota Lynx are able to pull through. Like I said, let's go Lynx. So, yeah, those were my 4 topics. Well, a few topics I had on today. This is just a quick little solo podcast that I had put together. Like I said, I've seen other people do it. It was just something I want to bring to the channel. I felt like it'd be fun. This is just a solo episode. I have brothers, friends, something we're going to put together in the future, probably possibly in next week's episode of the podcast show. That'll be nice. Bring some laugh. But like I said, this is just a solo. And, but yeah, thank you for listening to Chevy's episode 1 of Chevy's podcast show. I hope you all have a great, amazing weekend. And I look forward to dropping another episode next Friday. So you all have a blessed day and enjoy your weekend.